The Galactic Assembly Hall had never experienced true silence until this moment. 3,000 delegates from hundreds of worlds watched as Ambassador James Park gathered his documents with deliberate, measured movements. His hands didn't shake. That was what terrified them most. "Ambassador Park," Counselor Vextral attempted, his tendrils quivering, "surely we can discuss this further. The resource allocation treaty simply needs minor adjustments." "Minor adjustments?" James's voice cut through the chamber like a laser. He didn't shout. Humans rarely shouted when they were truly angry. "You allocated 0.03% of disputed asteroid belt mining rights to Earth. We submitted geological surveys proving those asteroids originated from our own system. They were stolen by the Zorthian Empire 2 centuries ago." The Zorthian delegate remained silent, his eye stalks lowered. James continued, his tone growing colder. "We brought evidence. Scientific data. Historical records. We followed every protocol, filled every form, waded through every review period. And your council's response is to give us 0.03% of what's legally ours." "The Assembly operates on consensus," Vextral said weakly. "We must consider all parties." "Consensus." James smiled, and every delegate who'd studied human history felt their blood freeze. "Let me tell you about human consensus. When we can't reach it, we find other solutions." He tapped his communicator. "Captain Zhao, status report." A human voice responded, crystal clear across the assembly speakers. "All Earth Defense Fleet vessels are combat-ready, Ambassador. 18th Fleet is holding position at the disputed asteroid field. 5th and 9th Fleets are en route." Panic rippled through the chamber like a physical wave. "Ambassador Park, this is madness." Vextral's voice pitched higher. "You're threatening military action over mining rights?" James turned, his expression carved from stone. "No, Counselor. We're done being cheated by a bureaucracy that thinks humanity will endlessly tolerate injustice because we're the new species. We're done with your consensus that somehow never favors Earth. We're done pretending this assembly represents anything except the interests of species who've been here longest." The human delegation stood as one, 30 representatives from Earth's unified government. They moved toward the exit in perfect formation, military precision that made the assembly's ceremonial guards look like children. "If you leave this assembly," the Ctherian ambassador warned, "you'll be in violation of galactic law. Your trade agreements will be void. Your colonies unprotected." James paused at the chamber doors. "Galactic law?" He laughed bitterly. "The same law that took 15 years to process our original mining claim? The same law that allows the Zorthians to occupy our asteroids while you deliberate? We trusted your system, Ambassador. That trust is now gone. What will you do?" Vextral whispered. "What humans always do when peaceful methods fail," James replied. "We'll take what's ours. The 18th Fleet is currently surrounding every disputed asteroid. Any vessel that attempts to interfere will be considered hostile. Any government that supports such interference will find their trade routes inconvenienced." "This is piracy," someone shouted. "No," James corrected coldly. "Piracy is when you take what isn't yours. We're reclaiming stolen property. There's a difference." The doors opened. Beyond them, the galaxy could see human warships on every broadcast screen, hundreds of vessels, their weapon systems active, surrounding not just the asteroids but key trade nexus points throughout the sector. "You have 48 hours, James announced to the assembly. "Return full control of our asteroids, issue a formal apology, and establish a fast-track review process for future disputes. Or watch as humanity demonstrates why we unified our entire species under one government while you were still debating trade tariffs." The human delegation left. The doors sealed. In the silence that followed, Vextral accessed his historical databases, searching for information about human conflicts. What he found made his tendrils go numb. Humans didn't threaten idly. When pushed far enough, they acted with devastating precision. "How long until we can mobilize a defense fleet?" he asked the military coordinator. 6 weeks minimum, counselor. Vextral looked at the countdown timer James had left on the central display: 47 hours, 59 minutes, 43 seconds. "Then we accept their terms," he said quietly. Immediately. Throughout the galaxy, the lesson was learned: humanity's patience had limits. And testing those limits was a mistake no one could afford to make twice.